My name is Adeliz Feliciano. I am a veteran, served in the United States Marine Corps from September 2006 to October 2015.
My name is Alfonso Fabrega, and I'm a visual designer and illustrator. I've been designing for maybe 20 years.
So working with Alfonso was a lot easier than I thought. Not that actually I thought it would be difficult to work with him. That might have been one of the concerns I had coming into the project. Hopefully I don't get somebody that, doesn't see my point of view or doesn't understand.
This storytelling process compares to my normal work in that we do the same thing with design. Design, unlike art, is communicating a message and oftentimes communicating a story. So, in that respect, it's very similar.
I do see that we have different ways of understanding certain concepts. I would explain something to him and he would turn around and explain it to me in a way that he understood.
I would say in this case it's subject matter. There's a difference between doing something for a business or a corporate piece versus doing something for a person with their own intimate story. That's more challenging in ways.
The greatest challenge for me was, transitioning from being an active duty service member into the civilian world was the transition itself. The Marine Corps was all I had ever known ever since I had left home.
What drew me to wanting to participate in this project is I do have a huge respect for veterans. It seemed like a very worthwhile effort to tell these stories so that I think a large number of us don't ever hear them and don't really understand what happens when a person goes through this experience.
I feel like I was able to overcome a lot of the challenges that I faced with the transition into civilian life. The thing that helped me keep it together, I should say, was my faith. There were all these things that were happening at once, and like I said, I found myself in a situation where I was starting to deal with depression. I was feeling lost. I felt almost desperate. I was away from family. I was attending college. I was taking 6 classes on top of all the other emotional things that were going on. At one point I felt like I was constantly trying to keep my head above water. I remember just sitting down, fighting back tears. I got to a point where I started reaching out to God. I started working on my relationship with Him. I started going to church more. I started, reading devotions and anything just to give me some kind of hope.
From Adeliz's story, I think what intrigued me was this story of growth and transformation, this idea that she was this young woman who, getting out of high school, may not have known, really who she was or where she was going or what she was supposed to be doing. And then through this experience, from, I believe, very great experiences to frankly painful experiences in a very kind of a compressed time, comes out the other side as someone who's strong and definitely focused on who she wants to be and what she wants to do.
Esther 4:14, perhaps you were born for such a time as this, was what inspired the crown in the final design. Transformation doesn't come easy. What I want others to be able to pull from this is that there's purpose behind the pain, but you have to commit to finding out what that purpose is and trust that all things can and will work together for your good. Keep pressing, keep pushing. It will get better. Just don't give up.
Religion is very important to her, so we wanted to get all that across in this graphic. So we came up with 3 components, really. It's the representation of her as a young woman, of her in the military, and then her emerging, as the idea of a queen. That was her representation of being a confident woman.